What up, family? What's good? I'm your boy Trey Fraser. I got my brother Maestro Styles here with me.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to another episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Shout out to all of our Facebook Live viewers right now. Make sure y'all tune in. Click that like button on the Facebook page. Also, you can follow us on the YouTube channel and also on social media on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast and also on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. Welcome back, brother. I know we had a little bit of talk before we got on here, but I'm just gonna reiterate, bruh. I got nothing for you, brother. I got nothing for you, man.
Don't try to steal my thunder, man. If this was the other way around, you'd have something to say. So don't tell me.
Yeah, of course, and you would be the salty one. So, I'm just trying to give it back, brother.
Thank you, man. Well, first of all, I appreciate that. I don't know how long I can lean this way, but I'm gonna try and do it for the foreseeable future. So whenever you look at me, you look at this great quarterback.
I don't think that's good for your health, brother. I don't want you to. Right. I don't think that's good for your health, man. I think you need to sit up straight, brother.
You're probably right, but every now and then I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Maybe like when you talking, because I'm sure you're going to find some way to slide some type of Ravens talk into this conversation.
No, bro. I'm done, bro. I'm done.
You done?
This I got nothing. The season is over, bro. I got nothing, bro.
Hey, man.
I got nothing, bro. Go ahead,
let me
man.
Say congratulations to the Baltimore Ravens for a wonderful.
Why are you congratulating my team for? This ain't about my team. This is about your team, man.
Y'all had a great year.
Don't do this, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
You gonna be that guy, huh? You gonna be that guy, huh? You gonna be that guy, huh? This ain't about me, bro. This ain't about my team, bro.
A lot of people like to talk about, Ben Roethlisberger's last home game being in Cleveland, and then the last game of his regular season,
which is a fact.
We thought it might be.
By the way,
no denying that's a fact. I'm just saying, that, and then he ending his career where he started in Baltimore, and all that nostalgia and all those things. I like to start with another trend this evening. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers started you guys' losing streak and ended you guys' losing streak as this regular season went on. Am I saying that right? Meaning we were the first loss you had in your 6-game losing streak at the end of the year, and then we sent you home in the last game of the year, which caps off us sweeping the Ravens 2 years in a row. That's the last bit of shade I believe I have for the Baltimore Ravens. Seriously though, not
gonna unleash hell in 2022.
Hey man. That
to unleash the hell, the fury.
That season has not started yet, sir.
I don't care. That's what I'm looking forward to.
What you said to me was, I have nothing. So
I have nothing for the game. I don't want to talk about the game. I got nothing for the game. I'm not.
We won't talk.
I'm not talking game.
I have a couple of things. Okay, we don't have to talk game. We don't have talk game, but I just have a couple of things on the Pittsburgh Steelers side that don't necessarily have to do. We don't have to discuss that monstrosity of a way you guys ended the season. I'm sorry. TJ Watt. Let's start with TJ Watt. Congratulations to TJ Watt for tying Michael Strahan's sack record. But let's be very, very clear, people. He should have broken it. That sack that they're saying wasn't really a sack. He didn't have the possession or whatever. All those things.
Well, no. Can I explain that for a sec? So
please, I'm going to disagree with you, but
of course you are, because you're a Steeler fan and you're not rationally looking at the situation. Lamar Huntley, because the center botched the snap, Lamar Huntley became a runner in that situation because he fumbled. He botched the snap, he fumbled it, got it back, and at that point he became a runner. That's a rule. You can disagree. You don't have to like it. I'm not saying you do.
I'm just saying.
But
okay.
That's the rule.
Well, then I'll move on. If you want to argue, we can argue, but I'll move on if you don't want to argue.
There's nothing to argue about. That's the rule.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sure. In any event, they are petitioning to see to have the NFL relook at it. Sir, I'm sorry, sir. He became a runner because of a botch. You know, botch snaps happen all the time. They don't become.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Let me hear it again.
The center botched the snap. It hit the ball, hit the ground. Huntley picked it up. Then he fumbled it, and then he got it right back. The moment he picks up his own fumble to get it right back, he no longer is a passer. He is a runner at that point.
Show me that rule. I just want to see it.
Show you the rule? I don't have a rule book here with me.
I'm not asking you to show it to me right now. I'm going to remind you about this tomorrow. And I want you to find that for me because I don't believe that. But in any event.
Sure. And I don't expect you to.
I don't believe, but in any event, they are asking the NFL to review the. Is
this an ongoing thing now?
This is an ongoing thing that's happening. Yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers have officially asked the NFL to review it. And the last thing I read is that we should get an answer by tomorrow. So we'll see.
That's not the way he wants to get that, though. That's not the way you want to celebrate it anyway.
I'll celebrate it all the same.
No, I'm saying I'm talking about the player. I'm talking about the player.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Mm-hmm. We'll address it differently. If emphatically they decide the rule of the sack. In line with T.J. Watt, I read today that they are giving Myles Garrett first team All-Pro over T.J. Watt. Did you see this?
No. Don't care about him either.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm feeling. Did you see the Bone Thugs and 3-6 Mafia verses?
I did.
You saw when Busy Bone got finished singing Buddha Lovers, and he told them he told them motherfuckers, hey, I don't like.
And he said something about Gangsta Boo, and yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like you drinking that drink right now.
What?
I'm feeling like Busy Bone right now. The way you drank that drink.
Oh, I'm Busy Bone. I'm Busy Bone in the situation.
No, nigga. I'm Busy Bone and you them. You them niggas that's patronizing me while I'm out here giving up my soul about.
Oh, I'm 3-6, huh? Okay.
Yeah, so
I like that. I actually like that.
Outside of the fact that I ain't about to run behind nobody.
I was gonna say I like that
for real. Yeah,
because you gonna run behind some niggas.
It's me. No, this me. It's me. You don't drink no goddamn soda while I'm talking about my team. But yeah, man, that's bullshit. That there's no reason, there's no way that you could put Myles Garrett over T.J. Watt this year, first team All-Pro. That's ridiculous. That is bullshit. I'm trying to just move on.
He gonna get defensive player of the year though, man. Relax, man.
You know, but still people saying that Michael Parsons is gonna get it. After all that,
he should be a candidate. He should be a candidate.
He should not be winning it.
But no. Listen to me. He should be a candidate. But if you tie a record that's 20 years old at this point, you should win defensive player of the year. I agree.
But shouts out to T.J. Watt nonetheless. Najee Harris has 1,600 all-purpose yards this year with that O-line. And that should be applauded. I don't care what nobody say. That should be applauded.
Oh, you're not getting it from me though. But
no.
Go ahead.
I
Go ahead, man.
I want it to be known. Hey, man. Hey, look.
Go ahead.
Look. Even I feel like you being a hater, but that's cool. It's cool. I get why you hating right now.
Hey, man.
So it's cool. I'm trying to look past your dismissive attitude towards the Pittsburgh Steelers being in the playoffs and the Ravens not. I'm trying to look past it.
Yeah.
But you're making it very difficult.
You can't blame me though, bruh. I figured
blame you. No.
I figured no matter what happens in this game, and quite frankly, I'm gonna let you rock. I'm gonna let you finish your. I ain't
got that much
talk.
left, man.
I'm gonna let you finish because I got some heat for somebody else. I got heat for somebody else that wasn't a part of this game, and why you guys are really in the playoffs.
Sure.
We gonna get there.
But see, I don't need you to do that. See, I mean, yeah, and yes, you'd be remiss to not mention that some things had to happen for us to be in the playoffs, and some weird things. And everything you're about to say is probably going to be correct in it's correct.
Whether that game affected our game or not, this team still deserves the smoke. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
And everybody knows what we're talking about. Sure.
Yep.
I still will say we had to do what we had to do, and we did that.
Of course.
So with I'll appreciate, for the sake of this being a sports platform, that you have to mention it. I don't want to hear all this super extra.
You don't care. You don't care that Carson Wentz choked a game away. You don't care. You don't care that,
for the record,
you don't care that the Chargers and the Raiders made y'all sweat until 2 seconds in the game until they finally said, okay, let's just kick the field goal and get the hell up out of here and get ready for Cincinnati. You don't care about any of those two games because those two games were the reason why you guys are in the playoffs.
Well, let's be clear. I care more about the last game of the regular season, which we can transition to that. This was the best game of the year.
Yep.
Let me just be clear about that. This was the best game of the year. But it makes me to all the conspiracy theorists that say the NFL and the NBA and all these things, all this big money is fixed. It's games like this right here.
Yep.
This Chargers Raiders game that make people like them say that the NFL is fixed. I was ready, and I was tired as hell, and I was laying in my bed, and I'm tired. I don't really want to stay up, but I got to see what's going to happen. I don't want to wake up to bad news.
Yep.
So let me just let me just try to stay up and see what's going to happen. And I was prepared.
And let me ask you. Before that game went on, like, what were you feeling? Because people were talking about
in hell.
Yeah.
I was thinking there was no way in hell that of all the games in the NFL that could end up in a tie in Week 18, that it would be the last regular season of the game. I get that they're division rivals. I get that both of them need to get into the playoffs. I understand everything that was, swirling around the game.
And that both of them still could have got in had the result ended up being the result.
Yeah. Understand all of that. I would have never thought that would be the game to potentially end up in a tie. Dog, you said if you pay attention to my tweets, I'm talking like we already in the playoffs. I'm talking like we're in the playoffs. There's no way I could not fathom that game going the way it went. And it went that way. And I was irritated but excited. It's the reason why the NFL probably is fixed, because those motherfuckers that's making all the money,
they love drama, man.
That we enjoy the drama. And no, not they. We enjoy drama. We enjoy drama.
The NFL loves it too.
Sure,
but you're right. We love it. You're right.
We love that shit. And it's hard for me to believe. Like I had all my tweets ready. Man, this shit is fixed. This is a conspiracy. I had all that shit. I was going to be up at 12 tweeting about how the NFL is rigged. I was ready for it.
They had Steeler fans at that game with their jerseys on. And in overtime, with like a minute left, they panned to some white dude in the Steelers jersey with the mean mug, and he was about to fight somebody like right then and there.
Man, I'm not one of those dudes to be in a game doing being on a stadium doing all that. But I feel him, man. I feel like if I was real live watching that as a Steelers fan, who, by the way, he had the same Polamalu jersey on, and he was doing, I would really look at, like, who can I punch in the face and get, who can catch this fade real quick and I can get out of here with a W and get my aggression off. Because this really, I don't remember how the first game ended out. It just seemed too
What do you mean first game?
much. The first Raiders Chargers
game.
Okay. I don't remember how that panned out.
Mm-hmm.
I even understand looking at both of those teams how evenly matched those teams are. I get everything, but still there was nothing. We've had two ties this year.
I think it's just one.
Maybe one.
I think it's just one.
Yeah, maybe one. Just us in Detroit.
Yep.
So we've had one tie. It was no way. I was ready. It never dawned on me that it would possibly be a tie. It's just like, nah. That's.
I'll be honest with you. Before the game and just kind of looking at both sides, the Chargers have more talent. So kind of just like you, I wasn't expecting them to actually tie. I was actually expecting this to be somewhat of a game in the beginning, and then somehow, some way, because Vegas was at home, that somehow they were going to pull away. But make no mistake about it, the Chargers have more talent than the Raiders do, even though Waller came back. What's that?
Not necessarily on defense. Not necessarily on defense. That front seven and
that I agree with. Joke. If you're gonna break it down that way, that I agree with. But as a whole, I think the Chargers have more talent than the Raiders as a whole. Just my opinion.
Agree with you. I'll agree with you just for the sake of I can't say definitively I feel that way. Let me say that.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's really I don't have enough dogs in the fight or information on their rosters to. I mean, I get why you would say that. Eckler, the two running backs are good. The two running backs behind Eckler are good.
Mm-hmm. Austin Jackson.
I get why you would.
Well,
say
the
that
receiver. Look at the receiving core. Whose receiver core you taking?
I'm definitely taking the Chargers receiving core.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm definitely taking the Raiders front seven.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
That
we can agree with.
Yeah.
Secondary wise, I'll take the Chargers secondary, led by Derwin James. I'll take that secondary for the Chargers.
I would love to agree with you, but I watched Ben Roethlisberger kind of get in them a little bit, and Ben Roethlisberger, while wildly.
I don't think Derwin James was in that game though.
I hear you, and I don't remember. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't think he was in that game. It's led by him, though. It's led by him and everybody else. But the Raiders secondary, nah. You can throw on them.
All that to say, you could, but again, you can throw on the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. I think you can run on them more than you can throw on them. I think you can run on them more than you can throw on them. But
it can. My point is that all that to be said. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I couldn't believe that we were at that point of the game. That I can't, to answer your question, I can't believe we were at that point of that game. I was prepared to stay up some extra hours and tweet my anger and my thoughts. But luckily things went my way.
It was hard to believe it. Because, again, for me, it was just like, okay, they're not, and they've been touting it on TV like all afternoon, after the 1:00 games, and then everybody was talking about, the Raiders and Chargers can tie. They could both get in the playoffs and stuff like that. And I just kept thinking to myself, like, I don't know if they just gonna play like they division rivals. Like, you don't want to tie your division rival on that front.
You would think.
You know what I'm saying? And then here's the other thing too, because I love a good conspiracy theory every now and then, and it certainly looked like in that final minute where they were running the ball, they meaning the Raiders, they were running the ball that second possession in overtime, and I just sat back and I'm like, oh my God, they're really about to tie. Just like the way they were going about it, the way I mean, and even the first two drives, both teams, field goal, Chargers, field goal. It's like, okay, y'all making fans sweat it out a little bit now, y'all. NFL, this is cute.
In the first half.
What's
I wasn't
that?
concerned in the first half. I wasn't concerned in the first. In the first, I ain't gonna lie to you. I had the game on mute in the first half.
Yeah.
In the first half, you know what I'm saying. I'm doing other things, making dinner, making beats, the type of things I do in my regular everyday life.
Yep.
And but around mid third, I was like, all right, okay. I guess this would be responsible of me to go ahead and see what's going on. To see what's going on, and I guess it was late third, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, they're close, but this is after I guess the Raiders were up, and it's like, okay, this ain't gonna get too crazy. They might score and get close, but get closer, but this ain't gonna get too crazy.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
I even decide around 11:30, like let me go ahead get in the bed and watch the game because it's late and I gotta go. I'm like again, nothing's really going to happen, but I'll cut the game on in the room and see, just in case something happened, I'll be there. But I'm not really counting on nothing to happen. Do my toss and turn, looking on my phone type thing, and happen to look up like, oh shit, these motherfuckers is in overtime. And it's not that I didn't see the sequence of events that happened, but I wasn't locked in.
Yeah.
It was like, these niggas is really in overtime.
They really in overtime, bro.
I was like, what in the fuck? I wasn't like totally gone, but I was like, all right, but cool. What the fuck? But cool. All right. What are the odds? What are the odds that they're going to really do this whole, they're going to really use up the entire time and like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It really ran across my mind. Again, going back to the whole the NFL's fixed conversation, it really went across my mind like, damn, these niggas really talked about this before the game or something.
They talked about it all afternoon. Like, throughout the 4 o'clock games.
Brandon Staley and the Raiders coach.
Oh,
I'm thinking like these niggas might have really talked about, how do we make this game more interesting? If we both tie, we both in, and that's a win-win for both of us. And I get that we rivals, but look, man, I would rather guarantee me be in, even if that means you get in. I would rather guarantee my spot than not guarantee my spot. That type of thing.
Right. Right.
The shit that Collinsworth and was talking about the entire game. It was like,
Collinsworth was rooting for it. He was
right.
He was rooting for it. Yeah.
It was like. I mean, but it does make sense. It's some sucker shit considering this is a football game. It's some sucker shit to think about.
Yeah.
But I mean, if your goal is to really just make the playoffs, that guarantees you're in the playoffs. It guarantees it. So it's like, but I'm really sitting here like these sucker ass niggas is really about to. So they might have really talked about it.
So can I say something real quick? So
please.
Everybody's killing Staley for the timeout. I'm gonna kill him anyway, not for the timeout. I'm gonna kill him for going forward on 4th down when it was backed up in their own 20 and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's something you don't do. Right. So, and luckily they only gave up 3 points, off that turnover. But I don't think the timeout that everybody's claiming that swayed the Raiders to think differently about how to approach ending the game concern.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that either.
I personally think that it's as simple as this. If you're the Raiders, if we tie, we got to go to Kansas City. If we beat y'all outright, we get to go to Cincinnati. We get to go to a place where they don't win playoff games when it's postseason. So it's either go there or go get stomped by Kansas City.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
I think it's
so
just.
You think the Raiders thought that they were going? They didn't have a shot against Kansas City, and they played it like that because of that.
I think it's as simple as that, brother. Because that was the scenario. They tie.
I don't know. That's
the Chargers go to Buffalo. The Raiders would have went to Kansas City. If the Chargers would have beat them outright, I think that scenario would have still played out. But then if the Raiders would have beat the Chargers outright, then they would have had to go face Cincinnati. And if you're asking me, I would want to play Cincinnati in the first round.
Yes,
I would want to avoid the Chiefs until I necessarily have to play them. So I think it was just as simple as that.
Interesting. And then the Raiders said, "Oh, but then you think?" But when the Chargers did that, how do you think the Raiders took it?
I just think they just took it as we're just going to run a running play. Because, Staley talked about it. He said they were trying to get their right defensive formation put out there, even though they put out sort of the same thing they did before the timeout, at least in my opinion.
Right.
And then Josh Jacobs gashes them for 10 yards and basically got another first down and got closer into field goal range.
Closer.
And here's the other thing, too. I think in their minds, if it would have went towards the result being a tie, I think they wanted to play it out as if they didn't want to kneel in formation, right? They didn't want to go to that formation. They still wanted to play it as if we want to win the game. So I think that's why they decided, you know what? We're in field goal range. Let's just cut it down to 2 seconds, get the timeout in, and let's just set up for a field goal. Because, look, in that situation, it's either, hey, if we kick it, we go into Cincinnati. If we miss it, we go into Kansas City. It's like it's like you couldn't lose. You know what I'm saying? If you're the Raiders and you got the ball. So I don't think the timeout really swayed them. I just think it was, look, I want to go. I want to beat the Bengals because the Bengals don't win playoff games come January. So, I think it's as simple as that.
I'll tell you this, not to kind of, well, I guess to kind of, I don't want to go into a preview of the playoffs or the wild card round.
Not yet.
I don't feel that. Well, yeah, not yet. But I don't feel. I hear. Obviously, the better team, even though the Bengals beat the Chiefs recently, the better team is the Chiefs. But I don't know if the Bengals going to be a walk in the park this year. Just throwing that out there.
I think on paper, I would have to agree just based on what they got on paper. And we've seen it. I mean, we've seen it in the regular season. I mean, they swept both our teams, for that matter. I think that's the first time they did that in, 12 years or something like that? So
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, they definitely swept both.
It's been a while. It's been a while since they've done that to both teams. So on paper, yeah. They can go with the best, but we've kind of seen this movie with the Bengals in previous years. It didn't matter
to be fair though. Okay,
go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
This is that was the Marvin Lewis era.
Sure.
And that's not to say that Slim in Cincinnati, I can't remember his name right now. It's not to say that
Zach Taylor
he is a better or Zach Taylor. Thank you. That he's a better or a worse coach than Marvin Lewis, but. This Mixon is a top back in the league.
I get it. I get it. And listen, those past Bengal teams, those were two, like Marvin Lewis's teams. He had two different types of Bengals teams. He had the Carson Palmer team with Chad and TJ, and who was the running back? Rudy Johnson or something like that. He had
Rudy Johnson, I think. Yeah.
He had that team. They didn't win when they got to the postseason. And then he had Andy Dalton, A.J. Green, and, those guys. They didn't win. So
Yeah.
I agree that the constant is Marvin Lewis. I that part I agree with, but he had two different types of teams that couldn't win.
This team, I'm not saying this team looks better than those teams, but what I am emphatically saying is that as in recent history, they beat what we consider to be the top team in the league, and I won't say it was decisive, but we were clear on who the better team was when that game was that game.
Sure.
I'm not here to blow smoke up the Cincinnati Bengals ass and talk, potential Super Bowl contention. I'm not here to do that. Yeah. I'm just saying they went toe-to-toe with them boys and won. And
you're talking about the Chiefs, right?
Jamar Chase. The Chiefs, yeah. They don't have an answer for that boy. They don't have an answer for that boy Chase.
Nobody does.
I leave
Nobody does.
But yeah. But I guess getting back to the Raiders and the
Chargers.
and the Chargers, man. Thanks for giving me a reason to stay up, and also thank you, Daniel Carson, and whatever the game plan was. Thank you to Daniel Carson for making the kick and getting us in the playoffs. I
don't think they wanted to tie, though. In the end, I don't think they wanted to tie.
I don't think so either. But I do feel like I was fully ready if that game ended in a tie to get all up into the conspiracy theories. I don't know what I was going to pull out of the hat of my internet research browsers. I don't know what was going to happen. But I know I was going to be ready with some type of a cockamamie theory.
Yo, I might have fired up an IG Live, bro.
Nah,
at that point, bro. I might have fired it up.
I'd have got out of bed for that. I'd definitely would have got out of bed for that. I'm not lying.
I might have fired it up. That would have warmed my heart. That would have warmed my heart. Like all the because I was feeling miserable even before our game started, bro. You might have seen on Twitter and stuff, but yeah, we got some quarantine going on around here, and that was just that just kind of had me in a mood even before the game started, and then to watch the game, and then the outcome, and then to watch the Raiders and the Chargers, and that was just kind of putting a smile on my face as the game just started to kind of get going. I mean, aside from the fact that it was a great game, and like you said, game of the year.
Yeah. Best game of the year.
Game of the year, yeah. It was exciting, but yeah, I was I would have fired up an IG Live had they really gone into a tie, bro. that would have been epic right there.
Well, I'll kind of move on from the Raiders and Chargers and quote a tweet I saw.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I can't. Justin Herbert.
You can't move on yet.
Justin Herbert. Okay. I just gotta say, Justin Herbert, 6 for 6 on fourth down conversions in that fourth quarter and into overtime. That dude is. I don't know if he the truth all the way yet, but he on the cusp, bro.
There's no doubt he the truth all the way. We are going to have to one day. It's not. I don't want to do it today. Talk about the Joe Burrow versus, because me and you kind of had you. I know you're a Joe Burrow and I'm a Justin Herbert. We're gonna have to rehash that conversation someday soon.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, man, 6 for 6. I'm like, man, he might be better than Joe Burrow. He might be.
Yeah, we're gonna have to rehash that conversation. I just want to throw that out there.
Yep.
But in the words of Al Davis, I saw this on Twitter. Well, not in the words of Al Davis. Al Davis, in fact, never said just tie. He said just win. So the Raiders did just that. I want to send a big shout out to Trevor Lawrence and the motherfucking Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval County. Shout out to y'all. Because man, what a way for it to all come together. And I remember some of the words.
Go ahead, get your rocks off, man. Go ahead.
I remember the words that were said amongst some sports shows and some sports podcasts. I won't name any that I am part ownership of. That where they said there was no chance that the Colts was going to lose this game for sake of winning your end.
You said that. I'm sure you said that. Everybody said that.
I don't think I've ever said anything like that, and I tell you why. One, because I didn't want to put that energy on my team, and because I'm clear what my stance is. My team is not a good team this year, but I still want to make the playoffs.
Sure.
I'm cool with the one and done. I know my team trash, but ain't nobody gonna be able to tell me we didn't make the playoffs. I'm cool with that. But as the week went on, I started seeing stats that the Colts had a losing streak in Jacksonville. I said,
I was unaware of it.
So was I. I didn't see it till like Thursday. Mm-hmm. So I was like, this is interesting. Is there a chance? Because look, I'm not going to walk back what I said about Carson Wentz. I'm not going to walk that back because I even got some backlash at work about my comments on Carson Wentz, where basically they was like, a coworker walked in and was like, dog, I can't believe what you said about Carson Wentz. Basically, when you was talking about Jonathan Taylor as a team. And
I was Jonathan Taylor's team. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was saying, well, I mean, yes, he's the biggest part of the offense.
He's the offense, yeah.
But you got to give credit to what Carson Wentz has done this year, and he has had a productive year. Yeah. But I think this is where I kind of got to walk it back a little bit, because this is the game, and I heard Dan Orlovsky say it too on First Take.
Yeah, he's a big Wentz supporter.
Right, but this is the game. This game past Sunday. These are the types of games that they signed Carson Wentz for. Mm-hmm. This game right here was the type of game that they signed Carson Wentz for. If we thought that Carson Wentz wasn't going to show up the way he didn't show up in this last game, they was better off just having Jacoby Brissett start
or keeping Phillip Rivers.
Or
calling Phillip Rivers to say, hey, can you come back and win us this one game against Jacksonville?
Phillip Rivers would have cost money. Phillip Rivers would have cost money. I'm saying that you paid Carson Wentz.
I was going to say, Carson Wentz cost money.
That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying you would have been better off getting a mid-tier quarterback, financially, I mean.
Sure.
Financially, you could have got a Jacoby Brissett. You could have got, one of those mid-tier quarterbacks.
A quarterback that don't cost you, that don't, take up your cap.
Right. You could have just got one of those guys if that's the performance Carson Wentz is going to give in a one-off game to make the playoffs. Look, man, I don't want to ride the train too crazy, and I still think Carson Wentz got the capability to be I don't put him in the top 15. I can't have him in the top 15 right now off of this game. And I get I get that I'm a prisoner of the moment right now.
Nah, he Ryan Fitzpatrick
week I
right
wouldn't
now
say
to
that.
me, bro.
Yeah, right. I mean, right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he Ryan Fitzpatrick to me right now.
This time last week, or 2 weeks ago, I might have been trying to convince you he's a top 15 quarterback. Mm-hmm. But right as I stand right now, there's no way I can put him there. There's no way I can put him there after this performance in a one-off game against the 2-14 Jacksonville Jaguars, or whatever their record is right now.
They were 2-14, bruh. They were 2-14. They fired the coach that basically kicked the kicker, kicked a grown man, and got rid of his ass. And that was it. Like, they was ready for the season to end. They couldn't wait. They couldn't wait for the season to end to get up out of there.
Yeah.
And they didn't just win. They beat the snot.
They got in it
out of the Colts.
They got in them.
They beat the snot out of them. And
they got in them.
Just to give Carson Wentz just a little, because he deserves all the smoke. There's no question about it. But that entire team played horribly. Offensive line, defensive line, secondary, like that whole team didn't play well. And Jacksonville, for what it's worth, they sold out. They was like, nah, we are not letting Jonathan Taylor get off. They sold out and said we are not letting this dude run all over us. And it worked.
And it works.
It worked.
And it works. But that's the game. That's the reason why you put, that's the reason why you put a Jonathan Taylor on that team and then get a quarterback who can. It's not often that he has to win those types of games in this year because of the season that Jonathan Taylor was having.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in the last game where clearly a team says, all right, we're going to shut your number one option down, you're going to have to beat us this way. And Carson Wentz couldn't do it. And Carson Wentz is a highly paid quarterback right now who could not do it for the playoffs.
Shout out to our homie Alex, big time Colts fan. If you're watching or if you're listening.
I thought he was in the chat room. I almost got excited.
Nah, he's not in the chat. But well, let me.
I can't believe I didn't think to text him.
Speaking of the chat, Mocha Bella and Jungle Brother in the Facebook Live chat. Appreciate y'all.
What's happening?
But yeah, man. Shout out to the homie Alex, man. Shout out to the homie, man. And I didn't even think to text him either. But
I didn't think about it at all.
If you're listening, brother, look, I know my team ain't there. My team has had all kinds of COVID injuries and all that stuff, but y'all was supposed to be in the playoffs. Like we talked about it. We talked about it 2 weeks ago, Maestro. This team was supposed to be in the playoffs, and instead of us raving about Jonathan Taylor and the big year he had, MVP type year, instead of talking about that, we talking about how bad Carson Wentz is as a quarterback right now,
and how good the Jacksonville Jaguars were. It all came together right when it needed to. The last game of the year.
Well, look, bro.
They playing their best. They playing their best football in January. Imagine that.
Yeah, that was I don't even know what to. So a question for you. So because I thought about this because. So, when he was with the Eagles, when Carson Wentz was with the Eagles, before he got hurt in the year that people claimed that he was the MVP, right? So, in those playoff games, it was all Nick Foles that year, right? Rode him to the Super Bowl.
In the playoffs, yeah.
And all that stuff. The following year, when they made the playoffs, Wentz got hurt. I don't remember what week it was, but it was somewhere down the stretch. He got hurt. Nick Foles had to take over again. They actually beat the Bears in the wild card round that year, and then they went and I think they lost to the Saints, I think. So Nick Foles played those games also. And then the following year, right, which I think they won the division. I think they won the East the following year. Wasn't it Josh McCown at quarterback for the Eagles in that playoff game against the Seahawks, bro?
Your memory is great, bro. I don't know.
My memory is like lit right now.
Yeah, your memory is great. The fact that you even remembered any of that, I don't remember, and I don't remember.
Carson Wentz has yet to play in the playoff game.
It's funny. Yeah, and it's funny you bring that up because I was having a discussion at work when somebody was saying that Carson Wentz had all these good years in Philly, and to my memory, he only had one good year.
It was just the 1 year.
One year, right?
Now, I think maybe the other year they're referring to, I think was it this last year there before Hurts took over? I think his numbers wasn't bad, but the team wasn't all that great. I mean, they wasn't winning games and stuff.
That year you're referring, that last year, I recall him having a lot of turnovers that year.
Okay. There was a year where he did have a lot of turnovers.
I remember the conversation being he holds on to the ball too much. I remember that conversation.
Okay.
I remember him only having one good year, and that was that MVP year.
Right.
That's the only good year I remember him
That's the only good year.
I meant to look it up. I meant to look it up to keep arguing with her, but
Yeah, I think there was another year where he wasn't statistically terrible, but he wasn't great. He wasn't great that year, but statistically he was okay. But just kind of looking back and thinking about it, like, wait, the Eagles had all these playoff games under Doug Peterson before they let him go. And I don't think I ever remember Carson Wentz being in any of those playoff games.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's. I think he might be right. I don't think he's played a playoff game.
Right, and this dude had a chance. Right. He had a chance to get into the playoffs, and he choked it up.
Man,
yeah, he Ryan Fitzpatrick right now, bro. Like that, I always talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick as a guy that has never played in the playoffs, and when he got that one opportunity with the Jets to get the Jets into the playoffs, and he choked. Like, this is Carson Wentz. Like, this is that example where you're supposed to beat a team, a 2-14 team that's ready to just pack it up, and they bust your ass, like, soundly.
I tell you who he ain't, though.
So, look, man. You know what? Hey, do you, bruh. You know what?
Thank you, man.
Do you, man.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that,
man. I can't even, like I said, I got nothing, bro. You know, talk that talk, man.
Black Monday was in full effect yesterday.
It was. Oh, one more thing, man. One more thing. I gotta give it up for Jimmy Garoppolo on Sunday, because they were down by 17, to the Rams, and a game that they needed to get to the playoffs. He threw them to the win on Sunday, overtime, and then was able to get the field goal and all that. Jimmy Garoppolo, he balled out, bro. I got to give it to him.
Okay, now I got a question for you.
Yep.
So it's funny you mentioned Jimmy Garoppolo, because all year I've been talking about with Ben Roethlisberger retiring, that we might have to we're gonna have to get a quarterback, obviously.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo has been in the conversation. The wish list has obviously been Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, but on a more realistic scale, it's been Jimmy Garoppolo. But another quarterback has entered the conversation, and it's interesting because he's probably going to be very cheap. Jameis Winston has entered the Pittsburgh Steelers conversation, and that there's a possibility he could,
which was something we talked about the previous offseason as a possibility before the Saints,
right? Yeah, before he decided to come, Ben decided he was going to play, but that is a realistic that could be a realistic conversation, and let me just say, I would love to have Jameis Winston on my team.
He's on a 1-year deal with the Saints, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So he's technically a free agent coming off.
He's an unrestricted free agent.
Injury, yeah.
I saw it on Twitter. He's unrestricted free. I saw it with the credible source that I trust for NFL information. He is an unrestricted free agent this year. So the whole poll, who would you rather have, Garoppolo, Jameis Winston, Mason Rudolph, and whoever the fourth person was.
Right.
I would 100% be down with Jameis Winston coming to Pittsburgh. I mean, 100%.
Not Dwayne Haskins, man. Get the Dwayne Haskins era started, man.
I bet y'all would love Dwayne Haskins to start for Pittsburgh.
Hey, man. Now. Hey, ask the Washington football team about him, bro.
I bet the Baltimore Ravens would love for Dwayne Haskins to start
ask the WFT about him.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but I did want to throw that. I just want to throw that in because you said Garoppolo.
So you're saying Garoppolo is a possibility? Would you want Garoppolo?
If he gonna do what he did Sunday, I ain't against Garoppolo. He's not my number one choice. But if we got him, I'd ride with him like he was my quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But he's not my number one choice. I mean, hell, Kenny Pickett in Pitt is still he's still on my radar.
Right.
But,
right.
So it's options out here, obviously.
Yeah. And I'll just say one thing and we can move on in regard to Garoppolo. This is why when you watch plays like the play he tried to make in the Super Bowl to try to hit Emmanuel Sanders down the field, this is why I don't give up on quarterbacks, because of plays like that. because of what he did Sunday, and I get that that's one game, and he's done that, on several occasions. It's not just
he's had a history of doing it and a history of not doing it.
Right. There's a history of him, having those kinds of games. And those kinds of games are the reasons why I don't give up on a quarterback so quick, because he missed a guy down the field in a Super Bowl. Like, we there was this conversation after that Super Bowl where everybody's like, yo, man, like Jimmy G, like he ain't that dude, man. Like, yeah, y'all got to do something. I
still don't think he that dude.
And sure. And I mean, that's a split, I think that's a split opinion, amongst people. But obviously they drafted Trey Lance. Trey Lance is supposed to, at some point, be the starter. Obviously the 49ers feel like they need a playmaker at the quarterback position, or I should say more of a playmaker at the quarterback position. So at some point he's going to get moved, but I think wherever Jimmy goes, I think he's going to help a team win. Like he can clearly, like he's clearly got the guts to, get a team in position to win a football game. Like it's not
okay.
Go ahead.
Let me kind of put Jimmy Garoppolo. Let me just give my opinion on Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo is a middle of the pack quarterback who is with an amazing offensive coordinator at coach. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion of Jimmy Garoppolo. He got moments, he got bad moments. I don't think. I think the conversation about him being the dude or not being the dude really started when he got paid what he got paid going into San Fran.
After 6 games. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's where that conversation about him, if he had never got that kind of a payday based off of 6 games, we wouldn't be having that conversation about him. He was, let's put it plain, he was overpaid for his sample size.
Yeah.
He was overpaid.
Yep.
So then he got to take that. He got to take all this media and sports couch potato coaches. He got to take all this criticism.
Yeah.
Because of what he was paid, and be honest, good. You deserve it. I mean, meaning you deserve the criticism.
Of course.
For what you would be. You deserve it.
Of course.
It's unfair.
Yep.
I'm not mad at you for negotiating the money that you negotiated.
Yep.
But you got overpaid. And now comes us media and couch potato coaches that's got to say, is he really that dude? Was he really worth the money he got?
No.
I mean,
not worth the money. Still a starter in the league, though. I still think he's a starter.
100% he's a starter in the league. Mm-hmm. But he's a 10 to 15 quarterback at best. Mm-hmm. At best.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's that.
But
I would love that if he was the 12th best quarterback in Pittsburgh, and our offensive line was halfway decent, I'd be happy with that. I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with our chances in against anybody if the type of quarterback he was in Pittsburgh. So no,
get that Dwayne Haskins era started.
Man, I bet you would love that. I bet you would love that.
Head coaches, Black Monday.
I bet you would love that. Yeah, Black Monday. I would love to talk about all these other white people, but Brian Flores was fired, and I was gonna say some bullshit.
The other white people deserved it. let's be honest.
Right.
They all deserved it.
Yeah.
But shout out to John Fisher, the microwave, who filled in for you admirably last week. And we were talking about candidates for Coach of the Year. And one of the questions I threw out there was, hey, what about Brian Flores? You take the Miami Dolphins, a team that started 1-7, and I made mention about this, that usually if you're a team who is 1-7 midway through the season, there's a different mindset with players.
Yeah.
The season's over. We don't have a chance to make the playoffs. We're just, we're making business decisions. We're not trying to get hurt. Things like that run through a team's head. And the fact that this dude, Brian Flores, was able to rack off 7 straight wins to put this team over to finish 500 in the AFC East, on coming within 1 game of a playoff spot. I think they were in a playoff spot maybe a couple weeks ago, but they lost to the Titans and that dropped them out of it. But the fact that he was able to keep this team fresh, whether the games were against bad teams or not, and look, the schedule was favorable.
They played bad teams
for them down the stretch.
They played bad teams.
The schedule was favorable for them. I even talked about it, midway through the season, that they had a chance to, make some things happen. But nobody in this league starts 1-7 and then ends up finishing a game above 500. That's one of the most remarkable runs for a coach that I've ever seen in the NFL. And the fact that
he gets fired.
Yeah, the fact that he gets fired, come on, Dolph. But at the end of the day, when you really sit and think about it, it's the damn Dolphins, bruh. It's the damn Dolphins. This is the third coach in 9 years, I think. They recycle, through coaches every 3 years. And, Brian Flores, I would have to say, has done more with the Dolphins in the last 20 years than any coach that's, been down there. He's done more.
In the last 2 years, then he's done. You mean he's done
No,
more
in the last 20 years. In the last 20 years, he's done more with that franchise than any coach has with that. Playoff appearances and all. I know Adam Gase took him to the playoffs a few years ago. I know, what's the dude that used to coach in the Parcells? Sperano. I know Sperano took him to the playoffs.
Okay, maybe I'm hearing you wrong. It sounded like you were saying, and I'm clearly we both know Flores wasn't there for 20 years. It sounded like you were saying Flores. I get what you're saying. I just understood the way you did.
Yeah. Okay. Just of all the coaches that they've had in the last 20 years.
In 20 years,
Flores has done more with the team despite not making the playoffs one of those years, but that's back-to-back winning seasons for the Dolphins. That's the first time that's happened in that span since 2000 for them.
Yeah.
You could tell there was a trajectory with him being there.
Yeah. Well, the rumors of him going to Chicago have already happened. So
I saw that. And Chicago and I don't trust them either. They make some stupid decisions also, but him and Justin Fields would be magic.
I hope so, but they would definitely have another. He would have another job, and I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I think we all agree that Brian Flores should be coaching
as
a head coach in NFL somewhere.
No question.
So I hope that works out for him.
No question.
Almost immediately after the Brian Flores firing, I saw that this was a move made so they could go get Deshaun Watson. Immediately, because Brian Flores has came out in this year and saying, Tua's the guy. We rolling with Tua, and I certainly respect his decision, but it seems that obviously Deshaun Watson keeps coming up in Miami Dolphins
Yeah.
conversations. They want him in Miami. Somebody wants him in Miami for these stories to keep being told, being put out. So they said the rumors are they got rid of him because they want Deshaun Watson, and he doesn't necessarily want Deshaun Watson, and he's not making playoffs. So they cut ties.
They weren't seeing eye to eye. I mean that kind of tells you the story with the front office and the head coach. They don't see things eye to eye. They drafted Tua. They drafted him in the first round.
They drafted him, right?
They drafted him. And they already saying, oh, we made a mistake. That's the Dolphins for you, man.
But I disagree with you a little bit because I don't think that they think they made a mistake. And we had this conversation when this Deshaun sweepstakes started. I don't think that they think they made a mistake. I think they recognize that if you get Deshaun Watson, the whole aura of this franchise changes automatically.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People are coming to games to see Deshaun Watson. We know the type of quarterback he is. Like that changes automatically. If you think Waddle was good with Tua, imagine what he would be with Deshaun Watson.
Sure.
That type of. So with that being said, I don't think that I'm not mad at ownership for feeling like we want Deshaun Watson. I am, in fact, though, mad that they fired Brian Flores when they had something brewing. Okay, he don't want Deshaun Watson, and I get that y'all do, but you at bare minimum, you could have just been like, "Hey, man, I know you don't want."
Let's talk it out.
Rock with Tua.
Yeah.
Or even worse than that, Trey. I know what you want, but we gonna go ahead and get rid of him and bring Deshaun Watson in because we the ownership and you the coach. You better coach Deshaun. You're coaching Deshaun, and that's what's happening whether you like it or not. And I get how unethical that may be, but
because of what's going on with with his stuff, right? Yeah.
No. It's unethical because an owner should respect an owner and a GM should respect a coach's wishes, especially when you see the ceiling of Tua.
Right.
Tua can be better. He can be, and Brian Flores got that team playing football.
And you're trying to establish a culture. You're trying to establish some consistency, which he was on his way to doing if he wasn't doing it already.
So respect that coach that he changed in 2 years, changed the culture of that team, and let him make some decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I get the business play.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson is Deshaun Watson.
Sure. Well, you know what that means? They better go get his ass then.
They better go get him.
If that's the case, they better go get his 100%. ass. And it's funny that you bring this up because at first I thought you was gonna go into the whole Jim Harbaugh thing because that was also something I saw on Twitter where Jim Harbaugh, after they got destroyed by Georgia in the college football playoff, that he was there were rumors that he was leaving Michigan to get back into the NFL. And one of the spots that was a potential landing spot was Miami because the owner went to Michigan. The owner's close with Jim Harbaugh, that kind of a thing.
Okay.
So
I didn't even know that.
So that was a story that was brewing, once they announced that Brian Flores was gone. But they kind of nipped that in the bud. Like that's not the case here. But now that you're explaining the whole Deshaun Watson thing, it's like, okay, you gonna fire Brian Flores, you gonna have to make a splash here. Whether it be you get Deshaun Watson or whether you get Jim Harbaugh, you gonna have to make a splash, Miami, because anything else is just not good enough with what's available out there right now.
With what's available, right?
Yeah.
Well, unless they get Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers magically, which I don't see.
I don't see that.
I'm just throwing little things that could be a bigger splash. But 100%. In other coach firings, everybody deserved it. Matt Nagy's out in Chicago, Mike Zimmer, and the Chris Spielman is out at GM in Minnesota.
Going back to Chicago. Go back to Chicago for a second.
Okay.
The GM is out too.
Okay. Oh, great. I didn't know that. Great.
Yep.
Joe Judge was fired today, and Vic Fangio in Denver was fired. Good riddance.
I got two things. One on Fangio and one on Judge. So I watched the game on Saturday between Denver and Kansas City, and it turned out to be a great game. I actually thought, okay, I'm gonna fall asleep during this. They're gonna stomp them, but Denver was going toe for toe with Kansas City up until the play at the goal line where they fumbled and Kansas City ran it back for a touchdown on defense. So right after that, the Broncos get the ball and it's fourth down. They're in field goal range, but it's like, yo, if I'm the coach, I'm going for it on fourth down. Like, we're not going to the playoffs anyway, so hey, let's go for it. He kicks a field goal. And I'm like, see, that stuff right there, that's what'll get your ass fired.
What did Fangio say after he getting fired or after that game? He said something. He said something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I can't remember what it was.
I didn't.
There was a headline about it. There was a headline about it.
I didn't see anything about
I'm
that.
gonna find it.
Didn't see anything about that. But what I do know was that when we played the Broncos earlier this season, he complained that we ran the score up or something like that, or I guess we was in a formation that he didn't like, and we was like, man, shut the hell up, bro. Like, if you don't like how we playing it, then stop us, bro. You a defensive coach. Like he was whining in the press about how we was, going about stomping them out. So, but yeah, good riddance.
For certain.
Good riddance.
For certain, good riddance. And if you want to hear the rumor about Vic Fangio that's going on already, the rumor is that that Dan Quinn is going to get a head coaching job, and he's going to replace Dan Quinn as defensive coordinator in Dallas. That's the rumor.
He's going to Fangio is going to replace Dan Quinn. Not Dan Quinn is getting the Broncos job. Not that.
No, that Dan Quinn is going to get consideration for a head coaching job somewhere.
Gotcha.
And that, yeah.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But good riddance to all those coaches. I told you I was gonna find that comment. I'm not.
One more thing about Judge, though. I got one more thing about Judge. Oh yeah.
If you're talking, let me see what you're saying, and I tell you if
you know where I'm going with this. You know where I'm going with this.
Then I ain't gotta say it then.
Man, 3rd and 9. I think twice. 3rd and 9, and they're in a formation where they're doing a quarterback sneak. Like that's that WTF moment right there. Like my man, like how you gonna drag the Washington football team in the presser the week before? I don't know if you saw that, but he was.
Yeah, I gotta. You know what I'm realizing I gotta do, Trey.
What's up?
I have definitely gotta learn to I be tweeting little because I tweeted about it, and by the time I went back to remind myself why I was I didn't remember what the fuck he was talking about.
Yeah. He basically.
I don't remember. He said he was talking shit about Ron Rivera.
Yep.
And what was going on with the football team.
Yep.
And I'm like, bruh, your team's some shit too. And I get that they the laughing stock, they the butt of everybody's jokes right now.
Yep.
But your team's some trash too, bruh.
Yep. He even trashed the previous regime of the Giants, Shermer and McAdoo.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he was trashing them too. Because they asked Shermer about it, because Shermer was in Denver running the offense, and Denver media was asking him about it, and he was like, well, I don't want to. He was taking a high road on it, but Judge was going after everybody, and then they went ahead and ran quarterback sneaks on 3rd and 9 twice.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Good riddance.
First, and quite frankly, shame on the Giants for waiting one day extra to do so.
Extra.
Yeah. Shame on them for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. In the latest AB news saga, he is on a world tour right now.
My man with everybody, yo. I just saw my man. I saw my man. Shout out to my Shiggy. I follow him on Instagram, but he was with my man Shiggy, taking some shots and stuff like that. I was like, okay, AB, and this dude is just all over the place right now.
I saw AB put out a song last week. AB was at the Brooklyn Nets game. Obviously, he was at that podcast, whatever podcast that was. AB was with Kanye West last night.
Yeah.
Like, this Bama is doing everything in a week.
I want you to Google this name. I want you to Google this name when you get a chance. Ava Louise.
AVA Louise.
Yeah. She was on the radio yesterday. I think it was yesterday or last week. she was on the radio, and she's a
singer. It says
but she's one of them girls that likes ballers, right? She's one of those girls that likes to go to the game courtside, check out the athletes and all that.
I see.
She was on the radio talking about how she was with AB the other night, like, after that game and after him going to the Nets game, she was talking about, he was with me and all this stuff. I was like, okay, all right. And then she was talking about how she was going after the Giants kicker.
Who, Josh Brown or the current kicker?
The current kicker, Josh Brown.
Oh,
Josh Brown.
That's what I was wondering.
Josh Brown been out the league.
That's what. I know he been out the league, but I don't know. Maybe she seen maybe he had a chain on when she seen him. I don't know.
Oh, nah. But
I see. She a little white thing.
Yeah. She loose.
I see Devin Booker. Yeah, I see Devin.
Right. Yeah. So she talked about Devin Booker in the interview I was listening to too. Yeah. She loose.
How do you feel? But getting back to AB, how do you feel about AB's? Did you? I'm sure you've seen clips about what he was saying on that podcast about Rob Gronkowski
and Tom Brady,
and I don't know if he said the same thing on the podcast, but I even heard stories about how when AB was staying at Tom Brady's house, that the Bama Tom Brady tried to kiss him in the mouth, and that's when he left.
I didn't hear that. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, no, this nigga's crazy, son.
Whoa. Hey, Tom Brady tried to kiss his own son in the or did kiss his own son in the mouth, so that I wouldn't be surprised about.
That's your business if you kiss your son in the mouth. That's your son.
It was their business for everybody to know about. But
clearly.
But that wouldn't surprise me. But whoa, like
you think? Hey, yo, nah. See, why would if that's true? If emphatically Tom Brady tried to kiss AB in the mouth, why Tom Brady thought that was some shit he could try AB on?
Oh God.
Let's be clear.
Oh my God,
I know gay men. I've hung with gay men. I ain't never near one, and I never alone. But I've been in situations. Ain't never a gay nigga thought Maestro was the type of nigga to try the kiss in the mouth.
You ever saw that movie Prison Song with Q-Tip and Fat Joe was in it?
I really want to forget that movie ever existed.
And Mary J. Blige played his mother, I think.
Yeah, I kind of want to forget that movie ever existed, but yes, I do remember.
Because it wasn't a good movie. It was a sad movie, I should say. It was a very like depressed, sad movie. But I bring that up because you're talking about Brady kissing AB. I'm thinking about that one scene in Prison Song where the dude locked up was trying to kiss Q-Tip, like his man's, like that was his man's from when they was in the hood.
Yeah, I remember the part. Yeah,
and when Tip got locked up, his homeboy was there, and so we held him down, but he started attempting to kiss him, and Tip was like, "Yo, you my man's, yo, like what you doing?"
Didn't the gay dude even eventually say, "Yo, I held you down" or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Nah, man, but man. AB is going crazy with media right now. Like, I look. Do you have any opinion on his week of being out in the world?
Other than I saw him with Shiggy on IG, and him and Kanye was posted up at the Nets game.
At the net, yeah.
And
him and Kanye was somewhere else. I ain't see him at the.
No. I was saying I saw him with Kanye, not necessarily at the Nets game, but I saw AB at the Nets game. I think that same night after the game that he walked away from, and him, apparently being with this Ava Louise girl. So, Yeah, man. I think this is just life after football. I think that's the only way I can categorize it.
And did you
as.
realize? I don't follow AB nowhere, but I'm looking at his Instagram page, and this nigga has officially become a Fashion Nova model. I mean, officially, this nigga is a Fashion Nova model now.
Is he better than Westbrook?
I don't know. I've never seen Westbrook wear Fashion Nova, but I'm talking about like he got to deal with Fashion Nova clearly. Like every other picture is this nigga tagged, got Fashion Nova, the men's section tagged, and like this nigga clearly just got a Fashion Nova bag. So
okay.
I mean, I guess
life after football, bro.
Life after football. I think that's
he's prepping for life after football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he ain't gonna run out of a bag. People will give him those types of deals. So
yeah, I forgot. I forgot you was out last week because that's when the AB thing happened where he left the field and stuff. So I'll just share my opinion with you. Me and Microwave talked about it last week, but I was just of the impression at the time that AB shouldn't be playing football. In terms of it being the priority right now for AB, I'm of the impression that he need to be around some people that care about his well-being, care about him, getting right and stuff. And I'm not gonna, diagnose what he has, CTE. Like I'm not going there. I'm not gonna go down that road of CTE or mental health and all that stuff because we don't know. Like we don't know what's going on. People speculate the perfect hit as sort of being the turning point in AB being AB, but we can't test for CTE until a person passes away. So I'm not gonna go down that road. But what I will say is that I just think in his life, priority wise, I don't think football is the thing. I think he needs to, go. I mean, do what he's doing now. If those people around him care about him that much.
Well, I feel like you're saying he shouldn't play football because of the way his mental health is. Is that a safe assumption?
Because of the behavior. I won't say mental health.
Okay.
Because again, I don't want to diagnose what I don't want to just speculate what he has. But what we have seen is a trend of behavior that's not so good, and a trend of behavior that got him out of Pittsburgh, got him out of Oakland, got him out of the Patriots, and now got him out of Tampa Bay. So,
well, you won't speculate. I will gladly speculate. That nigga got CTE. And obviously, I don't know it for a fact. I'm not going to tell you, definitively and absolutely positively. I'm just telling you my thoughts and how I feel about it.
Sure.
That nigga CTE. I don't think he's all the way wrong in some of the things, the way he assesses all of the things. I don't think he goes about all of the things right. I don't know who's telling the truth between Bruce Arians and Antonio Brown, BA and AB. I don't know who's telling the truth and who's lying. I do know that Bruce Arians is handling it one way, and the Tampa Bay is handling it one way, and Antonio Brown is handling it another way.
Right.
And the way that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are handling it has the full support of the NFL and the media, and Antonio Brown does not. So it's obviously always going to be put a way where it looks like Antonio Brown is the villain, even if he's not. I think that's fair to say. With that being said, Antonio Brown going on podcasts and airing out Tom Brady for better or for worse or for right or for wrong, I think it's just the wrong moves, just not the proper things to do when you're in a situation. Everything else is just the life. I get it. Hey, you not on the football team? Yeah, go to the Nets game. You got the money. Go, hey, nigga, go record a song. I ain't mad at none of that.
Right. I mean, even Le'Veon Bell recorded an album.
Don't remind me. In any event, yeah, I don't got no problem. My thoughts on the situation, what I really feel, I think this. I think that Antonio Brown, even though he don't think he should have been on an incentive-based contract, wanted his incentives. I think so. I do believe he was really injured. I think that if he could go on the field, he would go on the field because he wants his money.
Yep.
I do think he went to Tom Brady and said, "Hey, bro, you going to Gronkowski? You going to your boy now?"
Right.
I do think he did that because he wanted his incentives. Why you going to Gronkowski and I need my incentives?
Yeah.
And it is no coincidence that Rob Gronkowski got his incentives.
And they were losing to the Jets. Like, they were down like 17 points to the Jets at the time he walked off the field.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, I think that was a little I don't know. I can't even say it was impatient because he said he was hurt. He said he couldn't go.
He couldn't go, yeah.
So, but I do know that once he left off the field, all of a sudden, their third and fourth wide receivers were getting the catches and touchdowns that Antonio Brown would have normally been getting. So I think he didn't get his incentives. I truly think he didn't get his incentives based on him being injured.
Right.
And if he was truly injured, then why would you go on the field?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, because is it possible that he wanted both of those things at the same time while he was hurt or claiming to be hurt and didn't want to go back in the game and at the same time want your incentives?
Yeah,
like, do you think he?
But obviously, incentives are performance based. You have to get on the field.
You have to get on the field, right? So
but he couldn't.
Yeah.
So I think what happened. So what I think happened is while he was healthy enough to be on the field, because he played in that game.
Yeah.
While he was healthy enough to be on the field, they were throwing to Gronkowski, and he was upset because he felt like he should have been getting those targets.
Right.
Then after that whole whatever happened between him and Brady ended, he then somehow or another in the game got injured.
Yeah. Okay.
Where it was like, Coach, I can't go on the field.
You can't get on.
I could see him being salty behind that because Gronk got his incentives. So I can see him going on that podcast being it's messy and he shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
But from an emotional standpoint, I can see him being salty that he wasn't being targeted when he was healthy.
Yep.
And then when he was unhealthy, some other guy was getting his stats, his incentive, the stats that because you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So I can see him being salty behind that.
Right.
Like I said.
And people want to blame the whole, fake vaccination card. Like, people want to bring that up to say, well, AB kind of did himself in with that particular incident because had that incident not happened, he probably would have got his incentives. And to me, I don't think that's right. That was an incident. That was something he shouldn't have done. But I don't think we should be using that as a crutch to say that, it was his fault for not getting the incentives, because at the end of the day, with 2 games left, he still had a chance to get his incentives. So,
but in rebuttal to that argument, he might have got those incentives earlier had he not been suspended.
Facts, of course.
So I'm not gonna blame. Well, yeah, I mean, there's really no other way to slice it. Yeah, had you not done what you done,
right,
you would have been on the field for some extra games, and you probably would have hit your incentives earlier. I tell you what I don't like Antonio Brown did, and it's going back to the podcast, and I didn't watch. All I saw was clips. It's not that he went on there and was like, who is better than me on that team in the receiving room? Who better than me? And he made the host or whoever, and like, who's better than me? It's not that he's not telling the truth.
Right.
Why are you burning those bridges at this stage of the game? Why are you developing?
I think because he knows he ain't getting another job in the league. I think he knows that. I think he knows that the perception is reality, because let's face it, when I saw that live, my thought was, I'm going to go look up AB stats. I'm going to go look up his career stuff, and talk about it on the podcast, because this is the coronation of Antonio Brown, because he's not coming back in the league ever based off of that. That was my reaction when he did that. And to other people's reaction, like if you play in the league or if you a teammate and you watch that, like you thinking, yo, like this nigga quitting on the team. Like we trying to come back and beat the damn Jets, and you storming out of here doing jumping jacks in the end zone. Like come on, that's not cool. So I think for me, he ain't getting another NFL job. Now, I saw something from Josina Anderson on Twitter, and she said that if AB wants a job, he can get a job. And she's saying that's not an opinion, that's a fact. And so
I agree with her.
Yeah, so yeah, I kind of agree with her too, because it goes back to if you're talented enough, you're gonna play at some point. But watching that and just getting the perception, even though we know what the alleged real story is, the perception of that is not very good.
I agree that the perception is not good, but in context, now that I'm hearing both sides, when I kind of put it all together, I sincerely, I'm leaning more towards AB's story than I am towards Bruce Arians' story. Mm-hmm. That doesn't excuse his behavior by no stretch of the imagination, but I do think he was hurt. I do think that Bruce Arians tried to force him on the field, and he didn't play, and he got kicked off the field, and he responded that way because he was kicked off the field, even though he was injured.
Yeah,
that's what I think that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but only time will tell.
And just to and I'll put this conversation in the bud here, but just referring to the Bucks brass and Bruce Arians and Tom Brady for that matter. Some of the stuff was enabled. I put it on my Facebook and Twitter a couple weeks ago, and I was like, look, at the end of the day, AB is AB. He's, expressing this behavior in the way he is, but he's had enablers, throughout the time that he's been, going through this. And so, you know what, Bruce Arians, you had to walk back the comment about keeping him suspended, but because Godwin got hurt and Fournette got hurt and Mike Evans got hurt, you had to bring him back in, and the media questioned your integrity, your morale about the decision, and he said, "Look, I don't give a damn. Like, we need AB right now," and I was fine with his response, but
so was I. This
is what you get. This is what you get.
Well, let's be clear. That's not unfamiliar behavior. Yeah, you enable talent when you're that good.
Yep.
When you're talented.
100% agree with that. Yep.
That's not just sports. That's everywhere. That's everywhere.
Of course.
Where it's performance based. When you the man, you get those types of things. I mean, think about the quarterback position in the NFL. It's just that's just the way it's going to be.
Yep.
And it's always going to be that way. So that's not surprising. I won't hold him responsible no more than I hold Mike Tomlin responsible for it, or anybody. Mike Tomlin will tell you, or has said that he done some wild stuff, but when you that caliber of player, you get exceptions that
absolutely
you wouldn't if you
absolutely
weren't that caliber player. You know what I'm saying? So so Tomlin's quote is, "I treat everybody fairly, but I don't treat them equally." That's the quote.
Right. And that quote, that applies in every sport.
Every sport.
Every team, every sport.
Every infrastructure in this world.
Corporation, white corporations, yes. White America
Black
corporations.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yep.
That applies. Everywhere that applies. So I can't hold nobody responsible for doing it in the NFL when that is a life application.
Of course. Yeah. And I think that's why I come to the conclusion that AB, get around some people that care about your well-being, You know what I'm saying? That's sort of why I come to that conclusion for Antonio Brown.
My conclusion is get everything
You can get while you can get it, AB. That's my
He's gotten a lot. He's gotten a lot.
And let's be, but it ain't over for him yet. That's
sure,
the thing.
sure.
He's still one of the best separators right now in the NFL at wide receiver. If he come back from this surgery and say, "Hey, I need a job," I think somebody's going to pick him up. Now, will he be on another prove it deal? Yes.
Yeah, he will. Be. Yep.
Yeah, but guess what? Hey, man.
And the team gonna put up with it. Whatever antics, whatever behavior, the team gonna put up with it. That's just the way it is.
They gotta put up with it.
Yep.
They gotta put up with it.
That's just the way it is.
Especially if he start cooking. If he start cooking.
Yep.
I mean, come on, bruh. Come on, man. If he start cooking, let's say he go to anywhere.
Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers is. Yeah.
Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers is. Yeah. Hold it.
Yep.
Hold it.
Yeah.
Hold it.
Well,
hold it.
Aaron Rodgers better win a Super Bowl if that were to ever come to fruition.
I agree.
I mean, he better win it now, but
yeah,
if there was ever a situation where he got Antonio Brown on his team, he better win the damn Super Bowl.
Because there's going to come a day, and that day is probably going to be in the next 3 to 4 years, where Antonio Brown is not going to be the best athlete in the world, or one of the best athletes in the world, where that separation ain't going to be as good, where that route running ain't going to be as good. So not only are you going to have a bad attitude or bad rap about who you are as a person on the field, but the talent is not going to match up with it. So get every Fashion Nova deal right now. Get every Prove It contract you can get right now when balled out. Every song that you can
go holler at Timberland. Go holler at Dre.
Do all of it. Do everything you can do right now and collect as much money as you can right now, black man. Because there has been worse people who've been made richer.
Go holler at Mary J. Blige. And happy birthday to the great Mary J. Blige,
Mary J.
But
don't get a Mary J. Blige song. Not because she trash, but that's just nah.
That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. The collab ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
Nah.
But yeah, happy birthday to Mary J. Blige. I'm actually listening to Mary J. Blige as we speak.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to get my playlist going, but yeah.
I actually got my life on repeat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I got some Mary song. I got a lot of Mary songs on my phone, so I'm probably gonna start bumping it. Once we're done here. But speaking of getting done, I don't want to, because as much as I'm excited as a football fan to watch these games this weekend, I'm emotional right now. So my picks are gonna be just based off of pure emotion, no X's and O's, none of that stuff. Like I'm picking all the black quarterbacks to win this weekend. That's just how I'm going about it. So, and I'm not picking that guy. Just so you know, I'm not picking that guy to win this weekend. So you already know what it is on this side, bruh. And I'm sure you know what it is too. Go ahead. Go ahead. Pump up the platform, bruh. Go ahead.
Hey, all I'm gonna do is just lean on you. You heard?
Pump on the platform, bruh. Go ahead.
I got to put on my Roethlisberger. I got to put that Roethlisberger jersey on. Another week. Hey, we got our ass stomped a couple of weeks ago by him. And Tomlin said, hey, I know we got our asses stomped, but I think we might have something for him this week. And when my coach say that, hey, can I delve into history? I
was gonna delve into some history too, but go ahead.
I know you like history. You're a historian of this sports shit.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, my nigga.
So I know you'll enjoy this.
Go ahead.
The year was 2004, and The Pittsburgh Steelers, 2005. I'm sorry, and the Pittsburgh Steelers had barely made it into the playoffs as a 6th seed, and
that team was better than this team, by the way.
Hey, listen here.
I'm just letting you know.
My history.
That team was better than this team.
What I'm saying is appreciate the history because this is what you like to hear. We played the Indianapolis Colts in the wild card round, and earlier in that year, we were handily beat. Not as bad as 36-10, but we were handily beat by the Indianapolis Colts that year. Peyton Manning was the quarterback, of course.
Look at you with the history lesson. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And we lost handily.
Maestro Styles, let's go.
Hey, and I'm just saying, this was the year where Jerome Bettis' last year, and they had lost the year before, obviously.
Let's win one for the bus. I remember.
And let's win one for the bus. It seems poetic, Trey. It seems poetic.
Well, let's win one for Ben. I brought that up weeks ago.
But more so than ever because we just lost to Kansas City, and here we are in the wild card. No chance. Nobody has us beating Kansas City. And here we are. And I'm just going to add a little caveat, maybe not a historical caveat, but we just got finished talking about how Denver played Kansas City pretty tough up until that fumble.
Sure. Division rival.
Just saying,
yeah. Yep.
I'm just throwing those things out.
Okay.
With that being said, Pittsburgh 27, Kansas City 24.
Yo, I'm glad this is gonna be on wax. I'm so glad that this is gonna be on our platforms. We gonna have this video out on our social media. I'm so glad, bro. I can't wait.
I wish I could screenshot me doing this.
I can't wait until after this weekend's games. So you can,
Let's be clear, Trey. Trey.
What's up?
I've already look, as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, nobody saw us making the playoffs. I saw all the 7-10s, all the 6-11s. I saw all of that. Mm-hmm. I listened to you tell me, even though you had us in the playoffs, I believe.
I had y'all in the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people did. Mm-hmm. And, including the fact that we swept y'all this year for the second year in a row, including that we got y'all about the playoffs. I know y'all had to get other things even if y'all won, but we were the reasons before you even had to worry about outside influences. We were the reason y'all was not in the playoffs. This team has not been good all year, and yet Coach Tomlin has got us into the playoffs with the help of Trevor Lawrence and those guys in Duval County and the Oakland Raiders.
Carson Wentz being a bum.
Yeah, all those things did happen.
We got to mention that. We got to mention Carson Wentz was a bum. I just got to throw that out there.
All those things happened. But here we are, another winning season in the playoffs. Here we go.
All right, look, I guess you got to enjoy it, bruh. Enjoy it for as long as it lasts, bruh. But
win or lose, Trey. Hey, Trey, win or lose, we weren't supposed to be here.
Okay, all right.
We weren't supposed to be here.
All right, you feel how I felt about the Knicks in the playoffs last year. Nobody had us going in. We get the 4th seed. We going in, and we get our asses kicked.
Y'all should have beat the playoffs.
Y'all should beat the Hawks, though. Okay. I felt that, and I've always felt that way.
We shouldn't beat Kansas City.
Sure, but
just like we shouldn't be in the playoffs.
Okay, sure, but you feel how I feel about how I felt about the Knicks this past postseason. So, hey man, have fun at it, bro. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. Do your thing, bro. Go ahead, man. Ain't nobody gonna. Can't nobody tell you nothing, right? Can't nobody tell you nothing.
Nobody gonna tell me. Look, I heard it. As soon as I walked in, I guess I gotta tell you congratulations. Yes, you do.
Who said that?
Y'all ain't about to do nothing. at work. This is at work.
Oh, okay.
I guess I gotta say congratulations because you made it in the playoffs. Yes, you do. Hey, y'all ain't doing nothing. So
don't y'all got like Cowboy fans at your job? Cowboy and
I got
football
Cowboy
team
and
fans in there.
Football team fans. It was a football team. Ironically,
Okay.
it was a football team fan saying to me,
Uh-huh.
y'all know y'all ain't gonna do nothing, as if one, they were in the playoffs, or two, they wasn't gonna have a first round exit, or three, they didn't just get finished having a first round exit, and everybody was still happy.
Yeah. Well, look, man. Like I said, bro, I'm rooting for all the black quarterbacks to win this weekend, and that includes the guy you're going up against.
Patrick Mahomes is mixed.
That he black. He got some black in him.
Nah, I'm just getting that off because we playing him. But yeah, fuck him. Fuck him.
All right, so
and his stupid ass brother who had a jacket on that didn't even spell his damn name right.
yeah, I retweeted that video.
Fuck you, Jackson.
I retweeted that video out. That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. Somebody need to get that brother out of here, man. All right, so obviously we differ on that game. So where you at with Bengals and Raiders? Because I'm picking the Raiders.
I'm picking the Bengals.
Okay, and hot take here for me, I got the Raiders going to the title game.
Shit.
Yes, sir.
Shit.
I got the Raiders going to the title game.
Damn.
Not the Super Bowl. Right. Not the Super Bowl.
I heard you.
I got them going to the AFC title game. I've already mapped it out. Bro.
Okay, let me remind myself of the AFC playoff teams: Chiefs, Titans, Patriots.
Yep.
Bengals, Raiders, Steelers,
Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at that hot take. I'll give you a hot take. I'll give you a hot take just for the sake. I'll double that. Give me the Bengals for the title game.
Man, if this chair didn't have wheels, I would fall out of it.
Bengals and the Steelers.
Bengals Steelers title game. Oh,
hot take.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna save this clip. I don't
even know if that can happen. Numbers wise, but.
Well, other things got to happen. So, yeah, right. I mean, it might be a second round. It might be a second round matchup, but but yeah,
right.
Nah. So I got I give me the Raiders, and I'm picking Buffalo to beat New England.
Nope, I'm taking New England.
You taking the Patriots? Okay.
Taking the Patriots.
Okay. All right.
Even after this last game that just happened, I'm taking the Patriots.
Okay. All right. So that's okay. That's three different. We differ on pretty much all the games in the AFC. We differ on. Okay. What about Eagles and Buccaneers? Where you at?
Bucks. Oh!
Upset special, bro.
That's not about to say. That's not even the noise that Eagles make. But nah, I got the Bucks though. That's definitely a hog. I remember Shaq doing that shit all last postseason.
Yeah, give me the Eagles in the upset special right there, man.
Wow. That's a strong. Man, that's okay. I'm not even mad at it.
But, I mean, Bucks ain't healthy right now. No Leonard Fournette, no Godwin. Sure, I've seen Tom Brady
and Gronkowski is.
I've seen Tom Brady get shut out 9-0 by the Saints too. So
yeah, well,
anything's possible.
Anything's possible, but please let's not pretend like that wasn't an anomaly in the regular season against a division team.
Nobody saw that.
I'm just saying.
Sure, but nobody saw that.
Of course, nobody ever sees those types of upsets.
Nobody saw that. So
nobody ever sees that.
You're right. This might be a game, bro. 49ers and the Cowboys. Like
that's going to be a game. I ain't no mind about it. That's going to be a game. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't think people believe that offense is real in San Fran. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a game.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be a game.
yeah.
That's gonna be a game. That might be that. To be honestly, that might be the game.
Game of all the 6, right?
Yeah, that might be the game.
Yeah. I'm with you there. But I'm still gonna take Dak and the Cowboys though.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna still take them. And then Cardinals and Rams. Where you at?
Rams. Rams.
I'm not mad at that. And I did say that they would be in the title game. That was my latest prediction for the NFC. I'm gonna change my pick, bro. Give me the Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals. Division game. I get it's Kyler Murray's first start, but Matthew Stafford.
Well, it's not even that for me. It's not even that for me. The Rams are a better team.
I agree. They are a better
team.
I agree with that. With that. They're gonna have a problem stopping Kyler Murray though.
They gonna have us. If you think for a second that Aaron Donald ain't up to that task.
No. Oh, I know he's up for it. That don't mean he's gonna execute.
Yeah.
That don't mean he's gonna execute, but yeah, I like.
I think for the Rams, and
it's kind of crazy that it's kind of crazy that we don't really have them in the Super Bowl. But for the Rams, they are the quote unquote super team on paper.
Yep.
It's hard for me to believe that those stars, the Odell Beckhams, the Jalen Ramseys, the Aaron Donalds, obviously it's hard for me to believe the Cooper Kupps.
Yeah.
Those stars aren't going to rise to this occasion.
Yeah.
And Matthew Stafford, damn it, this much like the Carson Wentz conversation, this is the reason why Matthew Stafford was brought to this team.
Yep.
This is the reason.
Now, I'll say this. Matt Stafford's got some playoff experience. And so I'll give him that. I'll give him that. But you're right.
This is the reason that we all believe, people tried, he was in that purgatory of Detroit, and everybody, and the conversation is consistently, if we could just get him around a team, he is going to be a top 5 quarterback. This is his opportunity. He's not going to be a top 5 quarterback, but this is certainly his opportunity to play like a top 5 quarterback and make it to the Super Bowl this year.
His numbers. He's got some good numbers this year. I think his touchdowns is in the high 30s or something like that, right?
Yeah, and more than he hasn't necessarily been in the MVP conversation as of recent, but let's be clear, he was in this conversation. He was in this conversation. This is the Matthew Stafford that Detroit thought they drafted.
Yep. Yeah, and to put it in perspective, they went to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's first round exit, that ain't gonna cut it. Second round exit, that ain't gonna cut it.
Not gonna cut it.
I
don't even know if you're a NFC, if you're a Rams fan, it's Super Bowl bust.
Yeah, no question. NFC title game exit.
I don't feel that.
Ain't gonna cut it.
I don't feel that way outside looking in.
Yeah,
but if you're a Rams fan, it's Super Bowl or bust.
That's
and
it.
It's going to be at the crib
with
Kendrick Lamar, Dr. Dre.
With the hometown boys. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. As long as they don't move the Super Bowl. I don't know if you heard that, but they looking at an alternative location for the Super Bowl because the legislation in LA have concerns about the COVID stuff because the numbers is rising and stuff.
Hear that.
They've elected Dallas as this alternative site, and I'm like, you think Texas?
I don't like it, but
I don't like it either. But for that reason, for the fact that you're gonna have Dre and Snoop in their hometown at the Super Bowl, but I don't like it for the fact that if you're talking about avoiding COVID issues and things like that, Texas, they all out there with it. They don't care if people gather around.
But their legislations are different. But their rulings are
exactly,
different.
And that's my point. And that's my point.
Yeah.
But if that's the concern of the NFL, I don't think that's the place. That's the alternative place for it, which tells you that's really not their concern.
But that's it, right? That's what I was going to say. Their concern is not safety. Their concern is how much money could be made. And if people got to stay in the house or can't come to LA because of these types of restrictions, then it's not the best financial move.
Yeah.
So they need to know that they can make their bottom line plus.
Yep.
Obviously, that's why the NFL wins.
And Jerry gonna be all over that. So.
And I'm sure Jerry is going to be like, "Well, just come on to Texas."
Yep, of course.
But I am gathering, and I'm gathering that this, if the Rams made it to the Super Bowl, that this is going to be the type of magic. I am going to cry if Kendrick Lamar does all right at the Super Bowl. I'm just letting you know right now. Whoever is with me or not with me, if Kendrick Lamar does all right at the Super Bowl, I'm going to ball like a bitch.
This nigga.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting everybody know. That if he does that, you might hear gunshots coming off my balcony. I'm just letting you know.
Nigga, you ain't gonna cry in front of me. Not if the Super Bowl party's at my joint, nigga.
Oh well, if it's at your house, then I won't bring my gun. But I'm just telling you that, man.
Yeah,
that is
gonna
be history.
That's gonna be.
That is gonna be history.
Yeah. Who? Mary J. Blige, right? Eminem.
And Mary, I can't believe I forgot Mary J. Blige. Yeah, Eminem.
Yeah. All-star lineup. Like they.
I'm
NFL
all for
got it right.
Look, I'm all. I can't wait to hear Mary do Family Affair. I can't wait to hear Mary J. Blige do Family Affair at the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I can't wait.
Yep. And the people that don't like it, and y'all know who y'all are.
I wish. Oh my God! Unless it's a bad performance, which is no way in hell it's going to be. I swear I will attack anybody who has a bad word to say about that halftime show.
Yeah, I don't anticipate a bad performance. Not even in the slightest.
I expect a historical Super Bowl performance.
Yeah. Like
that's what I expect.
Yeah, like all time. Like this would be like in the history of Super Bowl halftime shows
with Prince, Purple Rain, with Beyonce and Bruno. Like his story.
Yeah, Whitney. Yeah, rest in peace to Whitney. But yeah,
well, she did the anthem, but
she didn't perform.
She did the anthem. Yeah.
Okay, I knew she did the anthem, but for some reason I thought she performed. But okay,
she didn't perform.
Oh, okay. But yeah, all the other performances, yeah, even Janet Jackson's nipple ring showing, yeah, the best, it'll be the best of the. Well, it'll be the best, not the best of the best. It'll be the best.
Well, I'll wait for them to perform to decide whether it's the best or not. But on paper, it's damn sure the best on paper.
Yeah, no question about that. No question. Yeah, let me give a quick shout out everybody in the Facebook live chat. Warren White, aka Jungle Brother, Roma, aka Mocha Bella. Every time I see her name like on like social media, it's just always Mocha to me. Like it's just it's never the government name for her. It's just always Mocha Bella for her. So shout out to you.
Shout out to them. Shout out to Jungle.
No doubt. Make sure y'all check us out on all of our streaming platforms, and also continue to follow us on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Also on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. Make sure y'all continue to follow us on Facebook Live. Click the like button on the Facebook page, and also follow us on YouTube on the channel. And if you got questions or comments about the show, you can hit us up on the email at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. So, look, man, I gave you your props, bruh. I gave you your props. It
was halfway props. It was halfway props. So this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to humble yourself and give us our props.
I was being a man about it, so. I didn't break.
I don't think you was very mature about it.
What's that?
I don't think you were very mature about it.
Okay. Well,
I feel like you could have been more mature about it. Let me say that.
I didn't break no equipment in here, so I guess that's a victory.
I guess that is a victory because I remember last time.
It's a victory, man.
I give a fuck about that.
Absolute victory every day, bro.
You remember back when we was recording in my old apartment, my first apartment?
Yes.
And we argued. We was arguing Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and you knocked all the equipment over.
Yep, I remember that.
Yes.
And then I think I actually tried to fire back to show up again, and then more people came in the chat. I think Grego was one of those people that came in the chat, and he was like, "Nah, man, this dude ain't trying to start no show. Like he just being petty and da 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 da." So, yeah. But that's a victory, bro. I ain't break nothing in there. I've been calm.
I just want to say
I've been calm.
The growth when you've spent your own money for equipment.
Okay. I see where you're going. Hey, man. I didn't mean to break your equipment, man. I didn't mean to break your equipment, man.
7 years down the road, man. 7 years down the road and dollars and amounts of dollars invested, and all of a sudden we don't throw equipment when we get upset.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, that's big of me, bro. Like, got to understand the growth here.
Yeah, man.
So
for sure.
So, all right, folks. That's it. Appreciate y'all. We'll be back next week. Another week of sports podcasting and Maestro. Glad to have you back, brother.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.
Love.
Recording stopped.